All right, everybody, it's Aaron Breitman of the Scarlet Faithful. It's pretty late, early Sunday morning before Rutgers hosts Northwestern Sunday night must-win situation after Thursday's loss at Minnesota. Obviously, that was a terrible loss. It's been a rough couple days, and I wrote a lot of coverage tonight already. I wrote a piece on Caleb McConnell and Paul Mulcahy and the program as a whole. And, there's been a lot of unrest lately. And I think just, no matter what, win or lose, this program and those two in particular deserve a proper send off tomorrow night. Obviously, a win would be poetic and appropriate and deserved. No guarantee that will happen. Rutgers has lost their last two at home. Obviously, they've lost their last 6 of 8. It's been a struggle, but a win on Sunday night against Northwestern. And it seems the overwhelming consensus is that Rutgers will earn a third consecutive bid for an NCAA tournament. I wrote yesterday or Friday that Rutgers was still projected. At that point, it was over 50 brackets, and they were projected as to make the NCAA tournament in all but one. Their overall kind of average seed is about a 10 seed right now. Obviously, predictive metrics expect them to win Sunday night against Northwestern, so that's part of it. But really need that win to cap, a Big Ten regular season. Winning record in regular season doesn't, that's not something that gets taken into account by NCAA tournament, but it'd be a great accomplishment by the program. But a 19th win, a quality win over Northwestern, season sweep of Northwestern that, if they do beat, would have a similar profile to Rutgers. So that would be key for sure. It's just a massive game. It's also Caleb McConnell's last home game. It could be Paul Mulcahy's last home game. He is going to walk along with Andre Hyatt, Oscar Palmquist. But those three will decide after the season. But for sure, it's Caleb McConnell's last game, and he was College Game Day, named him Defensive Player of the Year nationally on Saturday. That is not the official award. That's the Naismith Award. He's a semifinalist out of 10. But obviously, he's meant so much to the program, and Paul Mulcahy too. And, this has been a lot of up and downs, but I just really hope that all Rutgers fans, whether you're at the game or not, that you, take a minute to appreciate how important those two have been. They win or lose, this team and those two in particular deserve the ultimate respect. What McConnell and Mulcahy have done for Rutgers is really incredible. And one thing I tweeted, I had in my article as well, which I'll link to this article, is that, they're one of 4 teams to have at least 10 wins in the Big Ten regular season the last 4 years. Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, and Rutgers. That's pretty phenomenal. And the fact that, Mulcahy and McConnell are the only 2 key contributors on all 4 of those teams. So, tomorrow night, Sunday night is going to be emotional. It's going to be, nerve-wracking all day waiting for that game. But it's a game that they can win for sure. I think the rack will be packed and rowdy as ever. Northwestern, Rutgers beat obviously in Northwestern earlier this season. That was the Cam Spencer game. 23 points, had the game-winning 3 on the road. Mulcahy had a fairly good game against the Wildcats. He had 12, 6, and 6, along with 2 steals in that game. And, Northwestern is not a great shooting team. They don't turn it over, which is key for them. They're 14th nationally in turnover rate. They are, 312th nationally in 2-point shooting, 275th nationally in 3-point shooting. They get blocked quite a bit. They are a very good free throw shooting team, and they're a very good defensive team. They are 26th nationally in defense. But offense, they're better than Rutgers, but they're not a lot better. So I think it's a good matchup in that they're similar styles. This isn't a team that's gonna push the pace. Chase Audige and Boo Buie are 2 very, very, very good guards. and are a problem. But this is a game where Cliff Amori did not have a big game. The first meeting only had 4 points, and I think this is the game that they really need to go at him, get him involved early and often, and he needs to dominate. I mean, he dominated. Against Minnesota, he's played really well lately, and this is another game that they need to really, feed him the ball. They need to I mean, it's the key in every game, right? They have to play Rutgers defense, and I thought that was the biggest downfall in the Minnesota game. Obviously, the last minute 15 was awful in every way. But Rutgers never played Rutgers defense that game, and to me, that was what had me nervous the whole game. Is they were never playing the way they are able to on the defensive end, and if they can do that on Sunday night, they're going to win. I believe that. The only two times all year they've lost with a good defensive effort was Seton Hall, and then Michigan, and that was two awful offensive performances. Obviously that could happen again, but many more times than not, a really good defensive effort for Rutgers means they're going to win. And Northwestern is not a great offensive team at all. So, this is a big one for them too, or a game for them. They've lost 3 in a row. Obviously, Paul Mulcahy has really struggled for Rutgers. He needs to get going. This is going to be an emotional game for him no matter what. And I think it could be the recipe for him to kind of get right on Sunday night. I think obviously the team keeping their emotions in check is huge. Rebounding, they've been rebounding relatively well lately. They need to limit, Northwestern doesn't shoot great from three, only 32%, but they shoot a lot from three. 41% of their attempts are from 3-point range, which is top 75. So that's something to be aware of, and they're going to have to defend the three a lot better than they have lately, and that's going to be key. I think it's less about steals against Northwestern, more about defending the three. I think that's got to be key, and then you also have Rutgers obviously offensively needs to continue to share the basketball. You have, getting Cam Spencer involved offensively, getting Cliff the ball, getting Paul going. Derek Simpson's got to play more than 13 minutes in this game. This is a huge test for this team, to bounce back from Thursday. Obviously, I mean, the events that have happened with Sunday, I mean, the biggest comeback in, almost 30 years, 1996, and then to lose a game up 10 against the last place team with an NCAA bid on the line, talk about a roller coaster. Kind of sums up the whole season. It's been a long road. We're all exhausted at this point. Nerves are shot. But, I'm still optimistic this team can pull it together. Their backs against the wall once again. Each of the previous 3 seasons, Rutgers needed to win their last regular season game of the season to clinch an NCAA tournament bid, and they did it each time. They won at Purdue in 2020, although the NCAA tournament was canceled due to COVID. They were a unanimous projection to make it after that win. Then they won at Minnesota 2 years ago in a must-win, and then last year Penn State, they won by 1 point on senior day at the RAC, and that was nerve-wracking as hell. And tomorrow night's going to be another one. So buckle up, strap in. Again, I just think perspective is needed. And even if the worst happens and they lose this game, they're not completely out of it. They do have the Big Ten tournament. But I think just, Sunday night needs to be about gratitude. It needs to be about thanks. Those two in particular, McConnell and Mulcahy, their legacies are not complete yet. Obviously it would be really sweet to see them get that win on Sunday night and essentially punch the ticket to the NCAA tournament. It just feels appropriate. It feels like it's in the cards. And I fully expect this team to bounce back. And I think that this is the game we see Paul Mulcahy rebound and play to his ability and lead this team. And I just, really want to see that. So, again, defend the three, rebound, limit turnovers, play together, and play Rutgers defense. Those are my keys to the game, and thanks for watching and listening. Doing something a little bit different for this preview. Didn't have time to write a full preview, so I hope you like it. And I'll be back with a reaction, video after the game on Sunday night. Thanks so much, and check all my coverage, including Rutgers Wrestling at the Big Ten Championships, Rutgers Men's Lacrosse, and more on thescarletfaithful.com. Thank you.